You're listening to Crystal Clear English Podcast, Learn English the Crystal Clear Way. Today we're embarking on an in-depth exploration of a topic that truly resonates with so many of us, overcoming shyness when speaking English. It's a common hurdle, that feeling of hesitation that can sometimes feel, overwhelming. But what if we told you it's something you absolutely can conquer, not just manage?
It's truly fascinating, isn't it? How often we hear from learners who describe that exact feeling, that knot of nervousness, a sudden mental block, or that hesitation that crops up precisely when they need to speak English.
No, when you need the words.
Exactly. This deep dive is all about pulling back the curtain, understanding the intricate reasons why that feeling happens, and more importantly, unveiling a set of truly effective, deeply researched strategies designed to help you break through it.
Okay.
We've distilled some profound insights from, countless real-world experiences and observations that we believe will genuinely empower you.
Absolutely. For anyone who has ever felt that, that gnawing fear of making a mistake, or being plagued by the worry of being judged, or simply found their mind going completely blank, forgetting even the simplest words in the moment, this deep dive is crafted specifically for you.
Yes.
We're going to systematically unpack some remarkably simple, yet immensely powerful ways to significantly reduce that shyness and, crucially, help you cultivate the confidence to speak English with much more ease.
And fluency, hopefully. What's particularly illuminating from our observations is that shyness, especially in language learning, isn't some fixed inherent trait.
Right, like something you're stuck with.
Exactly. It's not like a permanent part of your personality you're born with and can never change. Instead, it's fundamentally based on our perception, on the specific ideas and beliefs we hold about the world around us, and particularly about, the act of speaking a new language.
Okay, that makes sense.
Think about it for a moment. Your shyness likely isn't present when you're speaking your native language, is it?
No, not usually.
It only tends to appear in specific situations, like when you're speaking English, precisely because of how you perceive that particular challenge, perhaps as a high-stakes performance.
Instead of just talking.
Instead of just simple communication, yeah. And the truly empowering news, the core message we want to convey today, that perception, that internal narrative, can absolutely be changed, rewired, redirected.
That's huge.
It is. You can genuinely overcome shyness, even if you felt it's been an unshakable part of you your whole life, because it's intricately linked to a specific situation and your response to it. It's not your core being or some immutable character flaw.
That's such a crucial distinction, and you've articulated it beautifully. It's almost as if our own confidence in these vulnerable moments becomes a bit timid itself,
Yeah, it hides.
It tends to bolt the moment we perceive we've made a mistake or feel foolish or even just think we're being judged. It's often the first thing that runs and hides, leaving us feeling exposed.
It's ironic, isn't it? The very thing we need most.
Exactly. That bedrock of confidence often feels the most fragile and elusive in those high-pressure moments. But here's the powerful truth. We all have confidence within us. It's not something you need to acquire from outside. It's more like a deep well of potential, even if it feels hidden sometimes. We can absolutely nurture it, coax it out, and create the optimal environment for it to grow.
That's right.
So with that understanding, what does this all mean for the very practical act of speaking English and truly finding your voice? Okay, with that powerful foundation laid, let's really unpack this common and often frustrating experience. Why do so many people, despite putting in so much effort, continue to feel profoundly shy when it comes to speaking English?
Yeah, let's get into the why.
From our extensive observations and the experiences of countless learners, it almost always boils down to a few core reasons that, together, can create a formidable mental block.
And when we connect this to the bigger picture, these underlying reasons collectively form a kind of mental landscape, you could say.
Yeah.
An internal environment where speaking English doesn't just feel like a challenge.
No.
It feels like a genuinely high-stakes activity, fraught with perceived dangers. It's not simply about recalling vocabulary or applying grammar rules. It's about navigating a whole set of often subconscious anxieties that trigger our natural defense mechanisms, making us hesitant.
Okay, so where do we start?
Let's start with what is arguably the most common and paralyzing factor for many, the fear of mistakes.
Ah, yes. The big one.
The big one. This isn't merely about the possibility of getting a grammar point wrong or mispronouncing a word, although those concerns are certainly part of it.
Yeah.
It's the worry itself that can act like a sudden internal freeze button, leaving you speechless. This anxiety stems from the idea that an incorrect word or phrase might lead to misunderstanding, or worse, to judgment, ridicule.
Yeah, feeling foolish.
Exactly.
Or
Or perceived incompetence from others. We've seen this fear manifest as a profound worry about sounding foolish, being laughed at, or not being taken seriously, regardless of your actual intelligence or ability. This fear can become so intensely strong that it completely overshadows the inherent desire to communicate, ultimately leading you to choose silence rather than risking any imperfection.
Wow.
It's a powerful psychological barrier, often referred to in language learning circles as an effective filter, where strong negative emotions literally filter out your ability to access and use the language you already know.
Okay, that's fascinating, the effective filter. But what's truly liberating here, and incredibly important for anyone feeling this, is the simple truth. Everyone makes mistakes.
Everyone.
And we mean everyone. This isn't just a platitude, it's a fundamental truth of human communication. Even highly articulate native speakers make grammar slips, mispronounce words, or fumble for the right phrase.
All the time.
Multiple times a day. Think about it in your own native language. You likely make small errors all the time without even noticing. Or if you do, you quickly self-correct and move on, barely registering it.
So true.
In fact, when you bravely make a mistake in English, it's not a sign of failure at all, quite the opposite. It's a powerful sign of effort, a clear indication that you are trying, that you are actively pushing your boundaries.
Right, it's proof of learning.
Exactly. And that's precisely how genuine growth and fluency happen. It means you're putting yourself out there, engaging with the language, and that in itself is an incredibly brave act.
Absolutely. So moving on from fear of mistakes, another significant factor we consistently observe is simply a lack of consistent low-pressure practice.
Ah, the practice paradox.
It's the classic chicken and egg scenario, isn't it? If you don't practice speaking, you naturally feel hesitant. And because you feel that hesitation, you often avoid practicing, creating a vicious cycle. This inexperience, this lack of real-world application, leads directly to hesitation, because your brain hasn't had enough opportunities to solidify the pathways from thought to spoken word.
Like rusty pipes.
Kind of. You might intellectually know the grammar rules, and you might have a good vocabulary stored away. But without repeated verbal drills, that knowledge remains largely passive, like a well-stocked library that no one ever visits.
Precisely. If you haven't been regularly flexing those speaking muscles, the mental and physical coordination required to form sounds, structure sentences, articulate thoughts in real time, it makes perfect sense that they might feel a little stiff.
Yeah, awkward.
Awkward, uncoordinated when you finally try to use them under pressure. It's akin to trying to run a marathon without any prior training. Your body simply isn't prepared.
Good analogy.
Your English-speaking muscles, just like any physical muscles, need regular, consistent workouts, even if they're small, to build strength, fluidity, and natural responsiveness. The more you use them, the more effortless they become.
Definitely. Then there's the incredibly insidious and often subconscious problem of negative self-talk.
Oh, the inner critic.
That relentless inner critic, yes. The voice that chirps away in your mind with profoundly damaging thoughts like, I'm not good enough, or I can't speak English well enough, or
I'll just sound stupid.
I'll just sound stupid, so why bother trying? These internal narratives are not just discouraging, they can be incredibly damaging to your confidence, actively eroding your belief in your own abilities. They create a self-fulfilling prophecy where your own mind, through these negative thoughts, actively undermines your efforts, making you hesitant and significantly less likely to even try.
So you talk yourself out of it and before you even start.
Exactly. You begin to internalize and believe these negative thoughts, and they swiftly become a barrier more formidable than any external challenge or grammatical rule. It's a cognitive trap that can be incredibly hard to escape without conscious effort.
This raises a truly critical question. How can we possibly expect to perform well, to learn and grow, if our own internal dialogue is actively working against us, undermining every effort?
Right. It's like trying to win a race while wearing an invisible weight vest that you've unwittingly put on yourself.
Yeah.
The key insight here is that we need to become profoundly aware of these negative thought patterns and actively, deliberately work to change them. Because your mindset, your internal narrative, is truly half the battle, if not more.
It dictates whether you even step onto the field.
Precisely. Finally, we've observed that cultural differences can also play a subtle but remarkably powerful role in triggering shyness and anxiety.
Okay, how so?
Sometimes, the fear doesn't just stem from vocabulary or grammar, but from a deep-seated concern about sounding strange or being unintentionally misunderstood due to profound differences in communication styles.
Ah, like politeness norms?
Exactly. Politeness norms, but also things like intonation patterns, the natural rhythm and cadence of the language, the degree of directness versus indirectness.
How long you pause.
Even the culturally appropriate length of silences within a conversation, absolutely. For instance, in some cultures, direct questions might feel aggressive, while in others, they're just efficient.
Right.
Or the accepted duration of a pause between speakers can vary wildly, leading to accidental interruptions or awkward silences. There's a natural human desire to fit in, to be clearly understood, and to convey your true meaning and personality.
Of course.
So if you're constantly worried about cultural missteps, or if your natural communication style doesn't align perfectly with English-speaking norms, it can profoundly amplify anxiety. You might worry about unintentionally offending someone.
Or just not coming across as you intend.
Precisely. Coming across as less polite, less intelligent, or less engaging than you truly are, purely due to cultural nuances you might not yet fully grasp.
So, when we piece together this entire picture, it becomes clear that shyness in English speaking is a complex tapestry. It's woven from internal thoughts like the fear of mistakes and that negative self-talk, combined with external pressures and quite often simply not having enough low-stakes supportive opportunities to try and practice. It's a multifaceted challenge.
It really is.
But the genuinely good news, the empowering takeaway here, is that once we understand the why, these fundamental root causes, we're perfectly positioned to strategically tackle the how.
Yes. We can begin to systematically dismantle these barriers one by one with clear intention and effective techniques.
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump right into the actionable solutions. The first and arguably most crucial strategy to overcoming shyness and speaking English with more confidence is, perhaps counterintuitively, simply to practice. Now, I know what many of you might be thinking, but that's precisely what makes me shy in the first place. The very thought of speaking is paralyzing. Please bear with us for a moment.
Stick with us.
Because we're not talking about just any kind of practice. We're talking about a very specific, strategic kind of practice.
That initial reaction is completely understandable, and it's a feeling we've seen countless times. Your brain and body, when you feel shy or anxious, are wired for protection.
Right, survival mode.
Exactly. They're instinctively trying to avoid perceived risk. Your inner voice screams, "Don't take the risk, stay safe." This protective instinct, while well-meaning, ultimately limits your growth.
It keeps you stuck.
It does. To truly dismantle that ingrained fear of speaking in English, you need to actively, consciously prove to yourself and to your brain that speaking English isn't nearly as scary or risky as you imagine.
Okay, how?
You need to start collecting evidence. Concrete, undeniable experiences that demonstrate to your brain that it's genuinely okay, that you can do it, and that the perceived risks are almost always significantly larger in your mind than in reality.
Gathering positive proof.
Exactly. You need to gather enough positive proof to override that deeply ingrained, protective, but ultimately self-limiting instinct.
This profound insight means intentionally creating an environment where you feel genuinely safe and deeply supported enough to speak without the constant pressure of judgment.
Yes, safety first.
Think about it realistically. If your only opportunities to speak English arise in inherently high-pressure situations like a job interview or making a critical presentation to your boss,
Yeah, terrifying.
that can be absolutely terrifying. That's simply not the ideal psychologically safe place to begin building foundational confidence unless that specific environment is exceptionally patient and understanding.
Which isn't always the case.
Right. You need a space where the stakes are intentionally low and the emotional support is consistently high.
What's truly fascinating here, and powerfully effective, is the profound emphasis on cultivating psychological safety. You need a consistent space where you feel genuinely empowered to step out of your comfort zone, to experiment, and to make mistakes.
Without fear.
Without the debilitating fear of immediate judgment or negative repercussions. It's a place where errors are not just tolerated, but are actively expected and even encouraged as an essential, invaluable part of the learning process.
So where do you find such a place?
Well, it doesn't need to be a formal classroom. It can be incredibly simple and organic. Consider practicing with a trusted friend.
Someone you already know well.
Someone you already feel completely comfortable with, who knows you deeply and understands your learning journey. This person isn't there to critique your grammar, but to help you communicate, to listen patiently.
Or maybe a tutor.
Or engaging with a dedicated English tutor? Absolutely. These are professionals specifically trained to understand the nuances of the language learning journey, to be incredibly patient, and to provide constructive, growth-oriented feedback in a profoundly supportive way.
They expect mistakes.
They expect mistakes. They're there to help you grow, not evaluate perfection. And increasingly popular are online speaking communities.
Ah, yeah, I've heard of those.
Groups specifically designed for English learners to practice, share experiences, and support each other. These communities often foster a shared understanding of the challenges, creating an atmosphere of deep empathy and encouragement.
The collective effort.
A collective willingness to improve together. The consistent thread running through all these options is the paramount importance of finding a space where you feel truly safe, unthreatened, and genuinely able to be yourself without inhibition.
We've seen incredible success stories, for instance, in communities specifically for women, which offer structured programs like the English Confidence Makeover.
Right, those intensive programs.
Yeah, often designed as intensive transformational speaking programs, sometimes like a 45-day immersion, meticulously crafted to help individuals systematically overcome ingrained shyness and start speaking with significantly more confidence.
The core idea, regardless of the specific format, is to proactively find or create your ideal version of that supportive space.
Your safe zone.
Your safe zone, exactly. Whether it's a formal program, an informal language exchange, or a dedicated tutor. It's about building a solid foundation of positive, low-pressure experiences that gradually allow you to say goodbye to shyness and truly embrace speaking.
So how does one actually find or create that space?
This brings us to a truly fundamental question. How can you specifically find or actively create such a space for yourself, one where you can genuinely lower your guard, relax, and focus solely on communicating?
Yeah, the practical steps.
It's about being incredibly intentional in seeking out environments where effort and willingness to try are deeply appreciated over fleeting perfection, where mistakes are consistently framed as invaluable stepping stones,
Opportunities.
as rich opportunities for deep learning and growth, rather than as disheartening roadblocks or damning signs of failure. It means being proactive and discerning about your practice partners and the settings you choose.
And here's a powerful secret. Even practicing entirely alone counts.
Oh, absolutely.
It's an absolutely fantastic, zero-pressure place to start building that crucial initial muscle memory and developing fluency. Lily's example, which we've seen replicated countless times, is a perfect illustration. Simply speaking out loud to yourself.
Just narrating your day.
Exactly. You could narrate your day, literally describing your actions and observations. Today, I woke up early. I went for a walk in the park. The weather was nice.
I enjoyed the fresh air. Later, I will cook dinner, maybe pasta or rice, things like that.
Yeah, this kind of consistent, uninhibited self-talk, even if it feels a little strange at first.
It can feel weird initially.
It systematically builds that crucial muscle memory for articulation, helps you organize your thoughts directly in English, and dramatically reduces hesitation when you eventually speak with someone else. It's practice without any external pressure, a private rehearsal.
That pays huge dividends.
It really does. And, if you're finding these insights helpful and you're truly ready to unlock more amazing tips for mastering English and becoming a more confident speaker, make sure to follow and subscribe to the Crystal Clear English podcast wherever you're listening right now. We're always here, dedicated to providing you with more crystal clear guidance and actionable strategies.
Good reminder, don't miss out.
All right, let's move on to our second powerful strategy. This one's a little more practical, maybe, designed specifically for those immediate moments right before you need to speak English.
Yeah, the pregame ritual, so to speak.
Exactly. Imagine you're about to join an important online class, or you need to make that critical phone call in English, or even just prepare for a conversation with a native speaker you've just met. This strategy is tailor-made for those pre-speaking jitters.
Right, for when anxiety starts to take hold physically. This strategy is crucial for when your own body starts betraying you.
Like the racing heart.
That racing heart, shallow, rapid breathing, a tightening sensation in your chest, or even the clammy feeling of sweaty hands. These are not just abstract emotions. They are very real, physical signs that your nervous system is on high alert.
Fight or flight.
Exactly, fight or flight. And that intense physical tension directly impacts your ability to think clearly, recall vocabulary, and speak fluently. To genuinely create more confidence, you need to actively, consciously reduce these physical symptoms.
Regain control of your body first.
You need to regain control over your physiological state before your mind can truly calm down and perform optimally.
Okay, let's really unpack the how of this. How do we do that?
The key is to dedicate a focused 3 to 5 minutes before you need to speak to concentrate entirely on your breath.
Just breathing.
Just breathing, but consciously. Find a quiet, undisturbed place where you can sit still, close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and concentrate on drawing your breath much deeper down into your body, all the way into your belly.
Not just the chest.
Not just shallow chest breathing. We've observed that when people are nervous or anxious, they almost invariably breathe very shallowly, high up in their chest.
I think I do that.
Many people do. This pattern actually sends a continuous signal to your brain that you are in danger or stress, perpetuating the anxiety. But if you can consciously regulate your breathing and slow your heart rate by taking your breath from your diaphragm,
Muscle below the ribs.
that broad muscle just below your rib cage, yes, you will immediately feel a profound sense of calm and a greater sense of control. You can even place your hand or thumb there and practice breathing in deeply, feeling your diaphragm push out.
Feeling it move.
Feeling it move. This deeper, slower diaphragmatic breathing directly engages your parasympathetic nervous system, consciously shifting you from stress to calm. It's like a physiological reset button.
Wow. Imagine each deep, slow breath as a conscious act of creating more space for confidence within you, literally inviting it in.
Yeah, breathing in calm.
As you inhale deeply, visualize calm and clarity entering your body. And as you exhale slowly, powerfully imagine the fear, the tension, any self-doubt simply leaving your body, flowing out.
Breathing out the stress.
Exactly. This is a remarkably powerful, immediate tool for actively calming your nervous system and preparing both mind and body. It gives you an incredible sense of grounding.
And what's truly fascinating here is the synergistic power of combining this physical technique with mental preparation.
Okay.
While you are deeply focused on your calming breath, it's immensely effective to consciously introduce some positive affirmations.
The positive self-talk again.
Yes, but specifically targeted for this moment.
Yeah.
These aren't just empty phrases. They are intentional statements designed to actively reframe your mindset right then there. Simple but powerful thoughts repeated silently, like, I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Shifting from dread to anticipation.
Exactly. Or, I'm creating new opportunities to learn and grow. Reframing it as growth, not a test.
Right.
Or even, I will contribute to this conversation and enjoy meeting someone new. Focusing on connection and enjoyment, these affirmations powerfully reinforce a positive mental state, countering worries before they take root.
So all of these elements working together, the conscious breathing, the positive thoughts, they systematically calm those bodily symptoms of fear and anxiety. By regulating your breathing and feeding your mind positive thoughts, you effectively invite in more calm, more clarity, and crucially, significantly more confidence.
Setting yourself up for success.
It's a deliberate act of setting your physical and mental state up for success, giving yourself the absolute best possible chance to speak clearly and confidently, a powerful pre-conversation ritual.
It really can make a profound difference.
Okay, moving on to our third game-changing strategy. This one directly helps you overcome shyness while you're actively speaking.
Right, in the moment.
In the thick of a live conversation. This is often where the real battle unfolds, when the pressure is on and you feel like all eyes are on you.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the broader patterns, people who tend towards shyness often, quite naturally, focus intensely inward when they're speaking.
On themselves.
Hyper-aware of their own racing heart, dwelling on something they might have said wrong, struggling internally to articulate the next perfect sentence. All that precious mental energy is directed at themselves.
Which makes it worse.
It amplifies the anxiety, makes them more self-conscious. The strategy here is wonderfully counterintuitive, but remarkably effective. Systematically shift that energy away from yourself and redirect it entirely onto the person you're speaking with.
Focus outwards, not inwards.
Exactly. Consciously move that internal spotlight from your own performance to the other person's words, thoughts, and feelings.
Okay, how does that work in practice?
This is where it becomes truly captivating.
Yeah.
Unleash your natural curiosity.
Be curious.
Be as genuinely curious as you possibly can be about the other person. Make it your mission to ask thoughtful questions. Show authentic interest in what they're saying, their experiences, their opinions. Find out more about them.
So it's not just politeness.
It's far more than that. It's a profoundly powerful tool for managing your own shyness in real time. When you are genuinely engaged in listening and learning about someone else, you simply have less mental bandwidth available.
Less brain space.
Less cognitive space, yeah, to focus on your own anxieties, your own perceived flaws, or your own self-consciousness. Your attention is externalized, and that's a huge relief.
That makes sense. Why else does it work so well?
Well, this raises a truly important question. Why does this strategy work so incredibly well? First, practically, when you ask good questions and show interest, it naturally encourages them to keep talking.
So you talk less initially.
Exactly, which instantly takes immediate pressure off you to constantly produce perfect English. Second, and perhaps even more powerfully, it makes the other person feel interesting, special, valued, truly heard.
Flattering their ego, as you said.
In a good way. When people feel heard and valued, they become more comfortable, they open up more, and the conversation flows much more naturally. It creates a beautifully positive feedback loop.
They feel good. You feel less anxious.
And the entire exchange becomes significantly more enjoyable and productive for everyone involved.
Plus, and this is a significant advantage, this strategy allows you to capitalize on one of your very best assets. As a thoughtful, perhaps naturally introverted person, your excellent listening skills.
Playing to your strength.
Exactly. If you tend to spend a lot of time carefully listening, observing, and thoughtfully processing information before you speak, this is a major strength you can absolutely leverage. Channel that existing strength into active, curious listening.
So while the other person is talking,
make a conscious, disciplined effort to focus intensely, completely on their words.
not on what you'll say next.
No.
Sure.
Don't let your mind wander to what you're going to say next or whether your accent is noticeable or if you made a grammatical error. Instead, actively listen for interesting ideas you can ask more about.
Look for connections.
Listen for subtle hints of shared experiences. Similarities you might have in common, a mutual hobby, a similar experience, a shared passion. If you spend your mental energy completely focused on them,
On understanding them.
on understanding their message, connecting with them, truly being present, you will inevitably and almost magically feel less anxious, less stressed, and far less self-conscious about your own speaking.
It's a powerful distraction from your own internal worries.
Yeah, and it shifts the energy of the conversation in a profoundly positive direction. It's genuinely a win-win situation.
They feel heard, valued, engaged.
And you, in turn, feel significantly less pressure, more confident, and more at ease because your focus has been successfully externalized. It's a brilliant way to ease into any conversation.
Allowing your confidence to build organically.
Exactly. Now, beyond these three core powerful strategies, building consistent confidence in English speaking is also deeply about consistent, small daily efforts.
The everyday habits.
It's not about waiting for one huge leap. It's much more like tending a garden. Little bits of consistent, thoughtful care every single day yield truly big results over time.
Those small actions accumulate steadily.
And build an incredibly strong, resilient foundation of confidence.
What's truly fascinating here is the sheer simplicity and remarkable accessibility of these daily routines. They are designed to seamlessly weave consistent language practice into your regular day.
Making it less daunting.
Less like a chore, far more sustainable. You certainly don't need to block out an hour every day. Just a few minutes here and there, strategically placed, can make a profoundly significant difference.
Okay, give us some examples.
For instance, let's paint a picture of how you can integrate these micro-practices. In the morning, as you get ready, look in the mirror and simply greet yourself in English.
Talk to yourself.
Yeah. It's simple, surprisingly effective, and start your day with English actively on your mind. Good morning, what exciting plans today? Or time to get ready, wonder what I'll learn.
Okay.
In the afternoon, as you go about your daily tasks, talk about your lunch or your tasks aloud to yourself. Narrate your activities, step by step.
Like, I'm making a sandwich now.
First the bread, then the cheese. After lunch, I need to send that email. This consistent, low-stakes self-narration builds crucial fluency without pressure.
And in the evening.
In the evening. Before winding down, record a short summary of your day in English. Use your phone's voice recorder. Then, the critical part, listen back to it.
Why listen back?
Because you will often be genuinely surprised at how well you did. You'll notice your progress, the natural flow. This practice helps you realize your English is often much better than you give yourself credit for. It's tangible evidence.
That's a great tip. And beyond these routines, don't forget these essential on-the-spot tips specifically designed to reduce shyness in the moment.
Okay, quick tips.
Smile while speaking. This is more than just polite. Smiling genuinely relaxes both you and the other person. It changes your own physiology, sends positive signals to your brain.
Makes you feel better, makes them feel better.
Exactly. Plus, you appear more approachable. Second, slow down.
Counterintuitive when nervous.
Very. But consciously speaking slowly gives you crucial time to organize thoughts, choose words carefully, articulate without stumbling, reduces the panic of a blank mind.
Gives you control.
Gives you control. Third, prepare common phrases.
Your toolkit.
Your mental toolkit, yeah. Memorize greetings, connectors, useful expressions. Nice to meet you. Could you repeat that? Ah, that's interesting. Takes pressure off spontaneous formulation. They're your safety net.
Good idea.
And finally, celebrate small wins. This is so powerful, but often overlooked. Consciously notice and acknowledge your progress every day, no matter how tiny.
Like using a new word.
Exactly. Did you use a new word? Hold a conversation a minute longer. Understand something complex. Acknowledge it. Pat yourself on the back. Celebrate these small victories. They build cumulative confidence.
Reinforcing that positive loop. This brings us back to that incredibly important question about mindset, which underpins everything.
Right.
We need to actively and deliberately replace negative self-talk. I can't speak well. My English is terrible, with powerfully positive affirmations.
Like what?
Cultivate phrases such as, I am improving every day, I am learning and growing with every conversation, or I can speak English effectively and I will be understood. Positive thinking isn't just fluff.
No.
It actively, demonstrably increases confidence. It retrains your brain to focus on progress, potential, what you can do, rather than dwelling on perceived shortcomings.
Absolutely. And crucially, shift your primary focus onto communication, not perfection.
Connection over correction.
Beautifully put. Your ultimate aim is to be understood, not flawless. Native speakers rarely expect perfection. Listeners appreciate effort, clarity, genuine connection, much more.
That's so important to remember.
Don't let the fear of constructing a perfect sentence stop you from saying anything. And related to this, embrace simplicity. Start with simple, clear sentences.
Keep it simple.
I like reading books is perfectly effective, clear, easy to say, rather than forcing complicated structures that might trip you up and undermine your confidence. Simplicity is a strength here.
This powerfully reinforces the fundamental idea that mistakes are not just natural, but absolutely necessary.
Part of the process.
A vital part. Every single word you speak, every attempt, even if imperfect, brings you significantly closer to fluency and confidence.
Yeah.
Each brave attempt is invaluable evidence you're collecting.
Proving it to yourself.
Proving to yourself that you can do it, that you are capable, that you are a growing English speaker.
So what does all of this mean for you, the dedicated learner embarking on this journey? Shyness is natural, widely experienced, but it is absolutely, unequivocally something you can overcome.
It's not a life sentence.
Not at all. It requires consistent, small daily efforts and a strategic approach. Practice, positive thinking, and simple, consistent speaking exercises are your most powerful tools to become a more confident English speaker.
The journey is made up of these tiny, impactful steps.
We truly hope this deep dive has inspired you to take that next significant step in your English speaking journey. Remember, the most important thing, the absolute key, is to start speaking, especially by intentionally creating that safe, supportive space for yourself where you feel comfortable making mistakes and simply trying without judgment.
Your confidence isn't something you need to find outside yourself. It is profoundly within you, waiting to be gently coaxed out.
It's already there.
It's already there. It truly will astound you what happens once you start, the incredible doors that open, the rich connections you make, and the profound new sense of self you will discover.
You can absolutely do this. We're always here cheering you on every step of the way.
Definitely.
And if you found value in this deep dive, please remember to follow and subscribe to the Crystal Clear English podcast for more amazing insights and crystal clear guidance to help you master English.
Don't miss out on our next deep dive.
Thank you for listening to the Crystal Clear English podcast.
Learning another language